Hey everybody, welcome to Analog Stick Radio. This is episode 15. I am your host, Mitch, and as always, I'm joined by my two lovely co-hosts. Over to my left, I have Christopher.
Hello.
And down below me, I have Dakota, wearing this very festive little hat there. You guys are both very holiday-centric. I don't really know what's going on. I have literally no spirit, as you guys can see behind me. If you are just listening, they both have some holiday things going on, and I have literally a blank wall next to me.
I've got a banana, Bruce Banana back there, my big stuffed banana, and he's even got a little hat on.
Yeah, they're all festive.
Friends,
so guys,
everything.
What did we play? Chris, let's start with you. What did you play this week?
I played a couple things. I'm gonna leave the main thing I played this weekend off because I think you're gonna mention it. The little MOBA we played, but I got a chance to finally finish The Walking Dead, the Telltale, because I had some time and it was really good. I mean, everybody said it was really good. Pulled on some heartstrings, made me feel some feels. I mean, it was. Did you guys ever play Dakota? I know. Did you played it to the end?
Which game? I'm sorry.
Telltale: The Walking Dead.
No, I didn't. I did not play those at all.
It was. I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you see the ending coming. I think maybe because I took too long of a break, it didn't hit me as much as other people said it hit them. But I mean, it was really well done and the way they culminated all your different choices you made in a certain way. I don't want to really say anything to give it up, but they had a character kind of like it was more like the whole episode was more of a judgment of your character and the choices you made. So it was really interesting. I liked the way it ended.
The choices that you made throughout the game, they ended up being meaningful, like in a big way.
Not so much. As far as the game, like the way the story ended up, but it kind of they reviewed you almost. Like a few characters would like bring up these certain things you did, like major plot points, and you'd kind of have to reflect on your decisions as a whole. And it was kind of more as like a mental ending.
Remember that time you killed that guy?
Yeah.
Remember that time? Yeah. Okay. Right on.
That's hilarious. Dakota, what did you play this week? What did you do?
This week I played a little bit of this game called The Master Plan. Have you heard of that? Either one of you?
Master Plan. No.
It's a small indie game. It's kind of like Payday, but it's single player and it's all top down. It's not 3D at all. It's just 2D top down. You can like hold people at gunpoint and order them around and cut the power to the buildings that you're robbing and stuff like that.
That's really cool.
It was pretty cool. I don't know how long the sale lasts, but it's on sale on a kind of like a Steam for indie games that was created. The platform was created by the makers of the Master Plan. I bought it yesterday for $2. I was like, what?
Well,
this
that
can't
sounds
be
really
right.
fun.
It was discounted from $20 to $2, so picked it up, and it was a lot of fun.
I missed it. What
recommend
view?
it.
Like, is it like a top down? Is it like a base builder?
Yeah, it's top down, so it's like you can move north, south, east, and west.
Okay. Sounds like GTA 2.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that game was amazing too.
Oh, GTA 2
sounds pretty good. Is it still $2? This new game?
I don't know. I wish I could remember the platform. I'll have to dig it up and show you guys after the show. Because if it's still up for $2, you got to buy it for $2.
Definitely. It sounds right up my alley. I played so much Grand Theft Auto 2, it's disgusting. So This sounds like something that I want to be a part of.
Yeah,
without
it's cool.
a doubt.
It's a little smaller, a little more intimate, but it's fun. What did you play, Mitch?
I actually have been playing some Uncharted 2. I've been playing quite a little bit of that game.
Good. I'm so glad.
I started playing Uncharted 1. That was a messy piece of crap because of the way that it was remastered, and it was very boring. I played about like 2.5 hours of it, and no point was I excited about anything. So I took Dakota's advice and decided to
move on.
Just skip to the second one. So I started playing the second one, and Dakota, you were not lying. That fucking game starts out with an amazing scene.
Is it the train
scene? And it just does, yeah, and it does not stop from there. It's just, I was like, wait, what? And it was incredible.
It's like they had a very different philosophy in like storytelling after the first game, and it's just consistent in the second game, in the third, if I understand correctly.
Well, I don't know anything about the third, but what I like about this game is you think you know what's going on. You're like, okay, I got it figured out. Like, this is going to happen, this person's going to double cross me or whatever, and then like they double, triple, quadruple, and you're just like, who is actually on my side? I have no idea anymore. So all you know is that it's just you, and you just got to keep climbing up little pipes and keep beating up people with guns. It's great. It's a great game. I'm having quite a bit of fun, and what I really like about this game, that maybe this is like standard for console games now, but I haven't played console games in a long time, especially single-player console games. So when I'm stuck, which hasn't happened too often, but when I don't know what the fuck the game wants me to do, it like gives me a hint after like a minute. And the hint is usually like kind of vague. Like first it's like, hey, maybe try messing with that statue. And I'm like, okay, so I go over to the statue, I'm trying to figure out the hell I'm supposed to do, and it's like, maybe try to go to like the top floor though and see what you can do up there. And then it's like, and then I still don't get it. I'm at the top floor. I'm like, I don't understand the hell I'm supposed to do. It's like, hey, walk over to the goddamn statue and push triangle, please.
Holy
but
shit,
it like
you
it's
suck at
increments.
games.
So you're
But
the
it's like-
person they make that for. I was like, who the hell needs this shit? Now it makes sense.
Okay, to be fair, there's like a scene where it has this like four-armed thing, and like the guy's arm is literally like sideways, and you just have to turn it up. But like, I didn't, like, looking at the graphic, it doesn't really look like you have to do that. It looks like it's correct. And I spent about, like, 5 minutes figuring that out. And the hints, they start off subtle. They're like, come on, go over there. No, right over there. No, right over there. Push triangle right there. Fucking push triangle right there. I don't know, I liked how it gave you a chance to figure it out on your own before handing it to you, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, you know, the usual suspects. We played quite a bit of Rocket League trying to go backwards, which we can talk about later.
Yep.
But yeah, overall, I'm having fun with Uncharted. I'm actually excited to get to Uncharted 3, and I'm eagerly awaiting Uncharted 4. Should be fun.
Nice.
So let's move on to our main topic for today. All right, so today for our main topic, we've decided, in the spirit of the season, we're going to talk about our favorite holiday/winter video game times, levels, settings, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of charades. There's been quite a few of them, some of them good, most of them bad. So we're going to talk about our favorite ones and just kind of reminisce our Christmas pasts. So, Chris, I think we should do this in like rounds. We'll start with we all have 3.
Yep.
Yeah,
We have our top 3 winter levels. So let's do our lowest first. Let's do our
Worst to
third
first.
most favorite. Worst to first. Let's do our third most favorite. Chris, I'm looking at you. What was your third most favorite winter / end of the year holiday setting?
My third most favorite winter / holiday thingy, whatever we're talking about, is Penguin Chat.
Penguin Chat.
What?
This was a game that came out. I mean, it's kind of a game. It was like an interactive chat room in the early 2000s.
Oh my God, Chris, show me where the bad man touched you.
Seriously.
It was fun for me because I was in 8th grade and I was in like a computer class and we were really good at it. Like me and my buddies, it was like teaching, like, you know, this is where you move the mouse, this is whatever. And then it was like partly that, partly a web design class, and my friends and I used the computers a lot, so we were able to mess around, and the professor, or the teacher, I guess you call him at the time, knew that, so he just like let us mess around on the computers or whatever. So me and my friends would go around looking at like websites for these funny games or anything we could do, and we found this game called Penguin Chat. And this actually was the predecessor of Club Penguin. Did you guys ever hear of Club Penguin?
No, what is that?
That was like a Disney game. Well, Penguin
We're just
Chat
going down a
was made
wormhole
by
of
this.
pedophilia
No, this
right
is
now.
fun.
This is just
this is
terrible.
made by. I mean, I played this around like, you know, the holiday times because we were still in class. We played it. It's like a chat room. You go in, but it's an animated chat room where you get a little penguin, and you could move the penguin walking around, and then you just type to the other penguin people, and then you just throw snowballs. Oh yeah, Submeow played it with the snowballs, right. So you just throw the snowballs at people. I can't believe somebody else played this.
You and a listener are united by the forces of gay.
He must have been the only other guy who played this in like 2002. But you walk around this little, like, it's just a white blank screen, and there's like one igloo in the corner with like 10 other people throwing snowballs at each other, and then they fall down. And you make like little impromptu snowball fights while talking to people. That was like the epitome of old internet. And it was a lot of fun. You just play in the browser.
That is old school internet.
It was like a class full of us just playing that, and it was just like a really good holiday memory. Like playing that before you go on hot winter break. I just thought it was
Oh my god. That is,
You can't judge that. That was a great time. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite holiday memories. You can't oh my god that.
I'm sorry. We'll let you have it. Yeah,
I feel like
it's good.
First of all, I feel like I just oh my goded it, so we can't go back now. It's funny because we were wondering if we were going to have any of the same ones on our list,
and overlap.
I'm happy to say I don't think Chris is going to overlap with any of us.
Well, I don't think so.
Oh my god, Dakota, please redeem us with your third favorite winter whatever.
All right, my third favorite winter whatever. I would probably say Dota 2 Frostivus. So Dota 2 Frostivus was Dota's first winter event, Dota 2's first winter event. And, you know, you guys play TF2, right? Valve is really good about doing cool event-y things. And anytime they have a new patch, it's this big deal that they hype up with these kind of several-day reveal cycles, right, on their website. And so it was the same thing for Dota 2's first winter event. And on day one, they had their website go up, Frostivus, and it looked like kind of typical winter stuff. You get to, you know, unlock items with friends and spread the cheer and this and that and the other. And the website page was made to look like a scroll had been nailed on some old-timey kind of like post board, right? And there's snow and stuff covering it, and it's all scrawled in like in handwritten handwriting. And on day two, when they usually reveal more stuff, the page is the same except for the post board is all fucked up, and there's like slime on it, and the paper has been ripped off, and there's like little fingerprints all over it. And then on day three, there's a new sign that's been shoddily attached in front of where the old sign was, and it announces the Grieveling. And so what they did was they made this fantasy event, the Frostivus, and didn't even have it. It was awesome. It was like super cool Valve storytelling where they were able to like build this whole world and this idea in your mind just with this one day of hype on the internet. And you know how it is with Reddit posts and everybody's going crazy. Oh, what could it be? You know, we're going to have all this fun. It's going to probably be a new game mode. It was a new game mode, but it wasn't a Christmas game mode exactly about gift giving. It was a Christmas game mode about these little kobold-like creatures called Grievels, who came in and shat on their fantasy Christmas in the setting. And so they like took over Christmas and like turned it upside down, and you got to play in game in Dota with a little Grieveling pet and capture Christmas gifts, and it was
really
very,
awesome.
Very cool.
That's really cool.
That sounds awesome. I like that storytelling that you were talking about, the idea of just like having you kind of imagine what this Frostivus could be.
Yeah, that's the way Valve does a lot of those things, especially with like the Team Fortress reveals. I really like how they like get the whole internet on this like meta idea and run with it.
Yeah, totally. Some of the headlines from the Grieveling post that they had tacked up over the original post on the holiday board said "Holiday Drear" and "Seasons of Grieving" instead. So it was a lot of fun. That sounds
like a lot of fun.
Valve is awesome. So what about you?
Well, Valve
Mitch?
does not disappoint. For me, so my third most favorite, and we're gonna bring it way back. This is touching my childhood, not in a way that Chris's childhood was touched. Not nearly that weird.
That was my
but,
pre-teenalhood.
Oh my god. Anyways, so one of my favorite like winter, almost holiday themed levels was Cool Mountain for Mario 64. I absolutely loved that level. It was one of my favorite ones. It had just so many things going on. You have this like giant snowball chasing you this whole time, and then you realize that you actually have to put it underneath the snowman's head, and it was his body. I remember that like blew my mind. I was like, and then you like do a fucking penguin race, and then you have to like go find the penguin's kid. Like it was just there was so many things going on there. Like it was so great.
Mario 64 was like such a good example of like these perfect little nuggets of gameplay where each world had like 10 quests or whatever.
It was like 6. It was like 6 plus like a red coin was one of them, and I think there was like a secret one for if you got 100 coins in the level. So it was like a total of like 7 or 8 maybe.
I think what made it better was that it was one of the first 3D platformers that a lot of people ever played, right? So they totally. Because they were able to, like you said, put these worlds into nuggets, like they were able to do like take an idea such as the snow level and just totally go wild with it in ways that nobody has ever done before, because literally nobody had ever done it before.
Yeah, and like because each of the worlds were segregated from one another, each one of them was like so chock full of content, right? They were just like so rich, full of content.
Yeah, like all the winter stuff goes in this level, so let's just jam as much winter shit into this as possible.
I really like that.
All the lava fire stuff is going to be in this level, so just jam it together.
Right.
That game, just in general, was one of my favorite games, but that level in particular was a very, very fun level for me. I always, whenever I like replay it, that's always one of my favorite ones, other than like TikTok Clock, but...
Nice.
Definitely up there for me as far as
TikTok Clock drew me nuts.
TikTok Clock when people are speedrunning.
Pushed off complete.
When people are speedrunning, that's like the make or break you. If you're speedrunning Mario 64, which I used to watch way too much of, that was always where men were made and destroyed. Right there was on yeah, that's where you proved yourself. All of it was just a trial up to TikTok Clock, and if you got through that, then you were good.
Wow.
So, all right, so no overlap on level 3, which is pretty good. Chris, give me your silver medal, Winter Wonderland.
Well, both my games haven't really been holiday so far, because I guess I haven't told you it yet. My second one...
Well, your third place one was a holiday for all the pedophiles, but, other than that...
No, it was a holiday, I guess, because it was a room full of preteen boys.
Chad Bro Chills rejoice.
Chad Bro Chill. Yeah. Okay, this one goes a little bit further back than, like, 2002. This one is, NHL 98.
Nice.
NHL 98.
Is that the
really
Sega
winter
game?
theme.
No, I like it.
No.
Is that the Sega one?
It was winter theme, yeah, because hockey's season is in the winter, right? And I got it for Christmas. I got it for Christmas on my Packard Bell computer. And
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I played it with a joystick. Because back then, like, I was in 5th grade, right? And so, I mean, I didn't realize... Nobody knew how to play computer games yet. Like, mouse and keyboard wasn't really... There weren't a lot of 3D games, so you never really had to manipulate anything in 3 dimensions using the mouse to look and things. So I just figured at that time that everything had to be played via joystick on the computer, because that's what you saw in pictures. So I remember, like, getting NHL 98 and playing the ever-loving shit out of it, because I was really into hockey then, and it was Christmas, so I had a break, and I had, like, some cousins come over, and we were able to do split screen on a computer, which was mind-blowing to me, because I'd played, like, Doom by myself, and so I'd, like, set up the joystick. Somebody else would be able to play only on the keyboard, and a third person was able to play only with the mouse. But you gave only the mouse to the person you didn't like, because it was absolutely awful.
So Richard?
Yeah, our friend
Richard.
Oh,
okay.
God.
That's awesome.
I
don't know if you guys know this, but NHL hockey, or no, not NHL hockey, ice hockey for the NES was the very first video game I ever played.
I think
so. I've got a pretty. That. Did I tell you guys? Yeah, I've got a soft spot in my heart for hockey video games.
Yeah.
And I've kept up with them ish. Like I played a bunch of the Sega titles, and even when I was in my teens, still living with my parents, but had like my own consoles. I had a couple hockey titles for PlayStation 2 as well. I love hockey games; they're awesome.
Hockey games are a lot of fun, man. Like, I don't know. I've always liked... I never really liked watching a lot of sports, but to me, hockey was always one of those I just really liked. So that wintertime, got it for Christmas, had a lot of cousins come over to play with each other, hockey, and good times. A lot of good times. That was my number 2.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I remember playing, what was it, Mech Warrior with a joystick on my computer back in the day, so I know all about playing computer games with joysticks. It was not a fun time.
I know all about playing with joysticks. Not a lot about computer games, though.
Oh, God. So, Dakota, your wow, that is a tongue twister. Silver Medal Winter Wonderland. Talk to me.
Wow. Well, I think if we're going to have any crossover, it's going to be with this entry. For number 2, I've got Rocket League's Snow Day.
I knew that was going to be on your list.
Yeah,
I knew for a fact.
If it's not on one of your lists, I think it needed to be on one of our lists because it can't go without mentioning how awesome Rocket League has been with creating new content, creating seasonal content. For those that don't know, Rocket League is a soccer game with cars, and for the winter season, they've implemented a hockey mode where instead of having a soccer ball, you knock around a hockey puck, and the way it moves is totally different, and you can unlock all these sweet Christmas doodads for your car, and I mean it just delivers on everything that Rocket League does great, which is sweet video games.
Yeah, it's just par for the course as far as Rocket League is concerned. They just do not disappoint, and this is no exception at all.
It brings me back to my NHL '98 days.
Yeah,
it brings me back to my
me back to your Penguin Club days.
I can't get over how dramatic the game changes with the physics of the puck versus the ball, because it slides around. It doesn't have a lot of friction on the ground or the walls,
and you have totally different modes of attack. Like a lot of people people would go to the corners with the ball to try and knock it into the corner, so it would get a set right in front of the net so people can knock it in. People now are driving up over the net to let the puck slide along the wall and just drop down in front of the net. So it's kind of a similar strategy, but just different enough to make it really interesting. I really like the way the puck moves.
Yeah, there's a lot more wall play too.
Oh yeah,
which I really
like. You spend a good 40% of your time on the wall at least.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's great.
Keeps the ground.
I'm excited. Going. It's just one of those things that reminds you that this game, not only is it incredible, but that Psyonix is very, very incredible and apparently has huge things coming up for this game, and they have no intention of letting it be some game. So it just makes me more excited for future events. I just can't wait to see what
they're
going
to keep delivering. You have to imagine how much of a dream they're living in right now, because this game was an indie game for all intents and purposes, and they have made millions upon millions of dollars. It is probably, I saw GameSpot listed it as their second spot for Game of the Year, which I really admire, right behind Witcher 3. And that's saying a lot, right?
That's humongous. That is a huge rating for them for sure.
Yep.
Sweet. So Rocket League was your silver medal. My silver medal, one of the first games that I actually really got into on the SNES was Mega Man X. And the Chill Penguin level.
Penguins!
That level, it just all goes back to Penguin Chat. It just keeps circling back to Penguin Chat.
Yeah, everything.
That level was just so good. First of all, not only do you get the dash boots, which make you feel like a badass in that level, but you get to run around in those big mech suits and just start punching other people in big mech suits. It's amazing. As a 10-year-old kid, this is the best thing in the world. You're sliding around on ice, you're shooting down dudes, you're jumping in robots and beating up other robots. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
That level was so good. The only downside to that level was how absolutely terribly bad that boss was, and just so stupid easy to beat.
Oh yeah, dude. You always got Chill Penguin first.
He's just so fucking easy. He just slides around on the bottom, and then you just wait and shoot him. Then you jump back up, he slides, you get down and shoot him. It was so stupid easy. And
isn't the weapon one of the better weapons that you get from him too?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is.
So it's the easiest boss, and that's one of the best weapons.
Yeah.
But I really like the mech.
But overall, the level was really good. You end up running from a snow or jumping over snowballs and stuff too. This is great. I love Mega Man X, and that level was one of my favorites because of the robots. The robots was honestly...
That was very different, because you didn't really have vehicle combat in SNES days, right?
No, not at all.
So you jumped in a little mech and punched, and it wasn't really a vehicle, but you still got into something different, like a big mech suit. I really like that, just sliding around.
And then you could kill other people in mech suits and take their mech
they had
suit
little
if
mech
yours blew
fights.
Up.
That was yeah.
It's awesome.
They
so,
did that
just so well
they did
designed.
that on
Just
the chameleon
one of those
level,
situations
too.
that reminds you. What's that?
The chameleon level. The forest one, they had the mech suits
Right, yeah,
too.
yeah.
I was just remembering the mech
Oh yeah,
suit.
they did have the mech suits in that one too. Just so that game is one of my favorite games of all time.
Mega
Like
Man
it's
X,
just
100%.
so well designed. I could gush about that all day as much as Chris could gush about Splatoon. So
ink joke.
oh man. All right, so those are our silver medals. Chris, what is your number one spot? Favorite winter level of all time?
Favorite winter themed anything of all time goes to Yeah. World of Warcraft. 100%.
Thank you, Chris. You and I, right there.
100%.
I think we have the same one for the same reasons,
Is that
too.
your number one as well,
them.
Mitch?
It's just, my number one is also the Feast of Winter Veil. Is what
Feast
it's
of
called.
Winter Veil?
It's my number one as well.
I knew it was going to be.
No way.
I knew it.
All right, go for it, Chris.
My reasoning is going to be, I guess, a little bit different, I feel like, than yours. Because I thought you guys would have this WoW one earlier. But, like, I didn't really... I like the Feast of Winter Veil stuff. I played old school WoW when it came out, so I also played when they had the hard-packed snowballs. Back at the snowballs.
Yes,
and
yes.
you threw them at
my
other
God.
people, and then they
Yes.
get knocked back, and it was like... I hated it because I was a mage, so I stood there casting, and somebody hit me with a snowball, and I have to stop my, 3-second cast. It was the worst. But...
Yep.
In most importantly, in Alterac Valley, on the bridge going
Yes.
towards the Alliance Fort. You knock people off that bridge with the snowballs, and they've got
Oh my
I don't
God.
know, a minute and a half, 2-minute hike back up.
Yeah, and nobody's down there.
Oh,
Nobody's down
so
there.
good.
So
But what-
absolutely incredible.
My reasoning, because it was the favorite, was I started as a gnome, right? And I got the game in I didn't get it for the first Winter Veil, because the game came out, I think, in November 2004. I got it in January the same year. But I got it, and I played as a gnome, as my main character. Right? So I started in Ironforge. And just all the snowy levels in Dunmoreau, in that whole zone, and I was playing with Mitch and a couple of our other good friends, and it was the first time that we really kind of went on an adventure together. We'd played video games, but it's mostly games back then were mostly competitive stuff. You never did a single player that you knew you'd be going through this whole thing with each other. So it was kind of a really good memory of just running through these snowy things, fighting these Yetis during January in the brutal winter of Florida. With the cold, bitter 70-degree air outside. But that was a good memory, running through Ironforge.
Yeah, that's those memories are the same reason that mine was my favorite. We just did so many dumb things during the Feast of Winter Veil over and over and over again, and between just dumb walking outside of Ironforge and having stupid hard-packed snowball fights and just all the different things that happened, they were all just amazing. I just remembered that was the first time I had ever experienced a game that had done so much for an event, right? I never really played a game StarCraft was
Yes.
the only other and Warcraft were the only other games that I played that were online, and they never really did anything for
No.
Yeah.
for Christmas or winter or anything like that.
Did you play any of
to
the
just
older
see...
MMOs, like EverQuest?
No, I didn't.
See, I didn't either, and I wonder if they did something similar, but I'm right there with you, Mitch. This was the first time that I really experienced this kind of phenomenon.
I never
Yeah,
played...
it blew my mind that these places that I'd been to before were just completely different. They were all decorated and amazing. I thought it was incredible. Chris, go ahead.
I never played EverQuest, but I did play Phantasy Star Online.
Oh, yeah,
Which was
yeah.
on, and they had...
Oh my God,
yeah,
on the
you did do
Dreamcast?
that.
Yeah, no, I had it on the GameCube.
Oh, wow.
Actually, they
Nice.
had a Christmas event. I never played it on my own GameCube because it was hard to get the little modem thing. I had a chance to get it once and I didn't. I always kick myself for it. But I knew a friend at school who had it. I went over his house one time to see what he actually does online because I just play it by myself. And they set up the main town with Christmas stuff. And that was the very first time I didn't really get involved with it. But I was like, wow, that's so cool. You do this with other people, but WoW was the first one that I really interacted with. Mm-hmm. What about you, Dakota?
Yeah.
What do you remember a lot about? Most from
it stands out for a couple reasons. The hard-packed snowballs, definitely. It was the first time for me that I saw that kind of seasonal content in a video game, and it makes sense. Being an MMO, of course, they're going to do. It seems like second nature now to us, right? But it felt so new and amazing at the time. It was magical, right? You felt like, God, I can remember sitting in my college dorm with my shit laptop playing WoW at like 17 frames, like walking around in Dunmoreau or Winter Spring.
Yeah.
And that kind of memory really sticks with me. And for me, this is a funny fact. During Wintervale was the first time I ever saw WoW. I was playing music with a buddy, and I went over to his house, and he's like, check out this game I'm playing. And it was like December, and he was showing me World of Warcraft, and it was in the middle of the feast. So his guy was like dressed up in the green winter clothes, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And he had a gnome too. I remember distinctly. I'm like, what is this? He's like, oh, it's something special going on right now. And so it kind of stands out in my mind as my very first exposure to WoW at all was during the feast. The other thing that I remember, I'm sure you guys did, was save snowballs all year round and throw them at people during the summer.
Heck yeah!
It's just like that comedy bit by the rapey Jello pudding endorsing stand-up comic that we don't talk about. He had a bit about saving snowballs.
Bill Cosby.
Don't say
that was the best description.
I was just saying who it was because Chris was bewildered. Chris was like, wait, was that somebody I talked to on Penguin Chat? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I bet you did talk to him on Penguin Chat. Yeah,
Probably.
He had a bit about saving a snowball until the middle of summer and throwing it in the face of his nemesis, and doing that in WoW always reminded me of that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty special.
It was a fun time. I'm glad that was all our number one. I knew it was going to be on there somewhere, but I did not think it was going to be all of our number ones.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad. All right, guys. Any honorable mentions? Any ones that were close but they didn't get there? Chris, honorable mentions. Give me one.
I got two honorable mentions. One is in Christmassy.
Two, I guess.
One is I forget the name of it now, but the snow level in Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh, that was such a good level. You are correct, sir.
I think there were a couple of them, but like you got
it was a whole like stage.
Yeah, it was Diddy Kong Racing was a racing game similar to Mario Kart. But it was made by Rareware, and it used a lot of Donkey Kong characters. A lot of made-up ones. Mostly just Diddy Kong was the only known one.
Well, there was also like Banjo-Kazooie was in there.
Oh, Banjo was in there,
really?
And Conker. Before Conker's Bad Fur Day came out, when he was nice, I guess. But there was an ice level, and I remember there was like an ice cavern, and you could go on your airplane and like fly through this ice cavern, and you fly out. I don't know, just a lot of fun on that level. So that was my first honorable mention.
Let me piggyback on you right there too. One of my honorable mentions is Mario 64's Sherbet Island, and that stands out to me because I think maybe one of the very first times I played it, or early on in playing that game, somebody showed me, check it out, on that very first huge wide left turn that you go around, you can go up to the corner, cut it real tight, and hop right over the gap. So you save like fractions of a second, It's like, sweet, that's cool. And I did it. And then, I swear to fuck, every time after that, I missed the jump and fell into the ice, and was constantly in last place on goddamn Sherbet Island. Between the gap...
I know exactly what part you're talking about, too.
Dude,
it's like a little tiny piece.
It looks like there's no way you could fall in it. And then you boom, hit the wall and go straight down into the ice.
Yep.
Between that damn gap and the freaking penguins that you bounce off of in the cave.
I
hated that level, but it definitely stands out in my head.
That's been a definite theme. A lot of our games had the penguins in it.
Yeah, apparently penguin is like a winter thing. I don't know. Maybe. Live in cold places. I don't know.
What about yours?
So
Chris,
did you get,
did you have another one?
Oh, my other honorable mention had nothing to do with Christmas at all. But it was my what should we call it? Costume Quest.
Hell yeah.
Hey, did you get by Double Fine? Yeah. The guys who make Psychonauts. It's a Halloween game. And you play, it's very easy, it's a simple RPG. You go through, like, door to door, getting candy for these two kids, but it's so clever, and it's so fun, and it really embodies, like, the spirit of the holiday, where everything's just, like, a little spooky, but mostly fun, and you're, like, a bunch of kids going around, and, like, the best part was that didn't get any abilities as your kid. Your costume gave you the abilities. So one of the kids had a little crappy cardboard box robot suit, but when they'd get into a battle against like the little monsters, I forget what they're called, he'd like come out and like jump into the arena as like a giant Gundam and like shoot missiles out of his arms and stuff. And then one was like a Abraham Lincoln costume whose ultimate was like a giant bald eagle soaring down. It was great. So those were my definite two. Not a Christmas one, but definitely a holiday game, and it really embodied it. I really loved that game.
I remember you made me play that game, and it was definitely a lot of fun. I was very impressed by how simple of a concept it was, by how well done it was.
It was just, the character made that game. Like, the gameplay itself, it would have been crappy if it was anything else. But the way, the visuals, they just had a blast, I could tell, making that game.
Yeah,
I bet. It sounds like they had a lot of fun.
Most of their games are always really funny, very clever. The scripts are great. The sense of humor, maybe it's just my kind of humor, but I always find them hilarious.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. Dakota, honorable mentions. Give me some.
Yeah, I got a couple. One of them that is winter related is the winter chapter in The Last of Us. So you guys don't know this. You haven't played it yet, Mitch.
I gotta cover my ears.
The Last of Us is the story's told in seasons, and there's a winter season, and without giving anything away, when the winter season begins, it's kind of a radical storytelling beat, and it marks like this big shift in gameplay and narrative. It's going to be hard for me to talk about this at all, other than by saying that when it begins, your jaw is on the ground currently from what had just happened previously. So you kind of are playing this opening winter level as you reattach your jaw to your face, and it's really beautiful. It's really serene and quiet. You start the environment by hunting a deer with a bow, and something about it is just like really serene and magical. And the way that game tells its story is, well, it's perfect. and I just, that moment for me, the opening moments of the winter season stand out so prominently in my head. I can't wait for one of you guys to play the game so you know what I'm talking about.
I would love to play that game. So you guys listening and you guys in the chat, if you want to email Eric at bitcultures.com to find my fucking key so I can play this game, bother him so that I can play this game, please, because I've bothered him a million times. But maybe if we blow up his email, he'll fucking give me my goddamn key so I can play this game.
How come we don't jump on Dakota for bringing up The Last of Us in every one of our segments?
That's like the last time I've heard of The Last of Us since the last of Us segment that we had, which was like 5 or 7 segments ago.
No way.
You're right, Chris. You're right. I'll get this. Yeah. The Last of Us is going to have to be banned for me very soon, right?
Well, hold on. The difference is The Last of Us is an actual good game, whereas Evolve and Splatoon are like...
You can't say that about Splatoon. You're about to get blown up.
One of the best.
It's one of the best shooters out there right now. 100%.
Chris, do you have any,
I don't know. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is out right
now.
Come on now.
Yeah. Backups. It's like the replacement team for the Call of Duty guys.
Yeah.
Do you have any also rans or honorable mentions?
Yeah. So one of my favorites, which I was so close to making the list, but it just, because it was such a small part of the game, I couldn't let it be there. But I don't know if you guys ever played Final Fantasy Tactics I played it on the Game Boy Advance. The intro level for how they teach you how to play that game is a child's snowball fight.
Yes.
And it was so
it
was so awesome the way that
really
they
cool.
took like that style of game and like interpreted it with a snowball fight. It was awesome. Like
that's
I just
really
remember that
clever.
being like I remember that being brilliant. I remember just being blown away by like how perfect for the game it was based on like how the game plays out, but also just how perfect it was for explaining how the game works.
Yeah.
I just thought it was incredible.
That's a really good one.
I was so blown away by it.
I played that game on PlayStation 1 and on Game Boy, and I totally forgot about that, man. You're right. It's
it's such a small part of it.
It is, yeah, but it is such a good way to show you, because it's like games like that are complicated enough to warrant kind of a this is how you play the game, always have that challenge, right? What kind of like inconsequential danger am I going to put the characters in to show you how to fight? like rats,
right.
Something silly like that. Snowball Fight's pretty sweet because you don't have to jump through hoops explaining why your hero is killing a rat. You can just say, yeah, they're kids throwing snowballs.
Right, yeah. Your guy's not almost dead. There's no it was just very simple, and it made sense. It was perfect. It's perfect, and it was perfect for the storyline because then you get picked on this other team. You actually make friends. It just really helped meld everything together. I thought it's perfect. My other honorable mention, you actually mentioned it earlier, Dakota. It wasn't so much what they did in TF2 during the winter style things. A lot of that stuff I didn't really care about too much. It was just the light up guns were so awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I remember loving those more than anything in the world.
They've
and
got
what
the
I liked the
Christmas lights
most
strung around them, right?
Yeah, they just had Christmas lights strung around like the normal weapons. Like your scout scatter shot was just a scatter shot with Christmas light and had no bonus effects. It was just a scatter shot with lights on it. And it looked really cool. And what I liked about it, and I didn't notice until I had played a couple times, was that the colors of the lights changed based on what team you were on.
Oh.
So if you were on the red side, you had red and yellow and orange lights. And if you were on the blue side, you had these green, blue, and purple lights. It was just it was such a simple little thing, but I thought it was one of my favorite things to get. And so all the ones on my TF2 account right now, I still have all the ones. I think I have a scatter shot and a demo man something or other.
Nice.
So those are all my honorable mentions. Do you guys have any other ones that maybe you forgot to mention and want to pick back up on?
Yeah, I'll mention two more just for the hell of it. Two of them, one's wintry and one's not. The wintry one, actually, they're both almost the same game. The two games I'm talking about are Batman games, some of the newer ones. The first, Batman Arkham Origins, is set on Christmas Day. And the latest Batman game, Arkham Knight, is set on Halloween Day. And the whole game takes place over the course of the day. So you hang out with Batman for basically 24 hours. And
sounds
and
like
it's
a
really
great
cool
radio talk show. Surprise.
Yeah, right.
Hang out with Batman for a whole day.
Yeah. And it's good because you get to see everybody else is having a good time. While Batman is doing his duty, and they do a really good job telling the story in that game with vocal work. The guy that does the vocal work for Batman, the same dude that does it for the animated series. And when you're Batmaning around on rooftops, you can hear people talking oh, I can't wait to get back to my family. Meanwhile, there's a big flurry of snow, and you're trekking through making footprints in the snow on rooftops. You can see Christmas lights in people's windows as you go by. They do a really good job of kind of steeping you in the environment and the setting and making it feel man, I'm Batman, and everybody else is celebrating, and I'm risking my life to save the city. It's really cool. Storytelling work. Same thing with the new one with Halloween. It's almost they're well, that's a really good idea. We should do it again.
We should do that again. Yeah. I and I want to continue using it, the verbiage of Batman. Batmaning, I like that.
Oh, yes.
I want to start using that a lot more.
Well,
I don't, however, like Supermaning. That sounds terrible.
No, don't Superman.
It just sounds like an
hope.
awful time.
Do not.
I don't want to Superman that hope. I definitely do not want to Superman that hope.
You got the most appropriate shirt on for it, though.
Yeah, I forgot I'm wearing my Superman shirt. This is my laundry day shirt. When all my shirts are dirty, I'm like,
the only
fine,
shirt
I will wear the
powerful
Superman
enough
shirt.
to handle laundry day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friends and I started using Batman as a verb in WoW when Burning Crusade came out, and Crusade came out, and rogues got Shadow Step. My buddy played a rogue, and he says, I'm fucking Batman now. Look at me. And he would drop from above on people in World PvP and Shadow Step to avoid fall damage, and it was his most favorite thing to do.
That sounds great. So, guys, I don't want to be this guy. I really don't. But why aren't there any other holiday games? Like, what the hell? Why is it just Christmas? And let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest with ourselves. All these holiday games we've mentioned, they haven't really, been about Christmas, but they have Christmas elements, all up in them. I don't think I've ever seen a menorah-based game or level. I don't think I've seen any sort of Kwanzaa level. What the hell, man?
I mean, Christmas just kind of lends itself. It has a rich history in our
a rich
society.
history? Are you kidding me? The 8 nights of oil and food and shit from Hanukkah? That's some rich fucking history right there.
I don't think... Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, but the thing is... the 8 nights, like, that's... The importance in that religious setting is equal to, what Christmas is about. But Christmas has changed over time to where it's not simply about the religious aspect. It's been crafted in societies who have held Christian beliefs. So people who maybe, I don't know, it's been commercialized, and there's a lot of different things. Like Santa Claus doesn't have anything really to do with Christianity. It has a lot of different characters and things, fantastical elements that work well to be implemented in other ways.
You could have a magical menorah, though. Like, we could have some, like, spiritual dreidel. Like, we could have it.
Chris, you just touched on my point. The reason I think that we see Christmas a lot is because Christmas is not a Christian thing. Christmas has been appropriated by Christians from pagan holidays. The pagan holiday of Yule is where Christmas comes from.
Yeah.
Christ and all that shit, baby Jesus, the wise men, that's not in a video game. And that would be the analogy to make with menorah and dreidels, because Hanukkah is a religious holiday. And Christmas is a pagan holiday that a lot of people like acknowledge and celebrate. It's more of like an American culture thing, and not even just American culture, but I mean for all intents and purposes, it's American culture. Like Blizzard, Psyonix, all these companies, these are American companies making games. So when they make Christmas stuff, it's not like Christians, it's America.
Yeah, that was the other point I wanted to do. A lot of these games are based in the U.S., and we have a very large Christmas like culture.
They don't want to offend. They can't like implement like religious stuff into a video game and then risk offending people on a religious level.
That's a problem when you start shoehorning in diversity for the sake of diversity. It becomes. It gets, you could tell that you're not used to it. I mean, we could talk about religious, I feel like a great episode would be about religion in games. There's a lot of games out there that touch on.
Oh my God, we're going to trigger subtext. So many people. We can't have that. That's a trigger episode right there.
That episode. That's good. Put it on the list.
I like it.
Put it on the list.
I mean, I have no problem triggering people. We've already seen that, but I'm just saying, we're gonna trigger some people. We're gonna lose some viewers. But all right, so before we go on, and I mention floating menorahs anymore, let's move on to the Metabet. All right, Dakota, take us away.
All right, last week on the Metabet, what happened? We didn't have a score for our Metabet.
We didn't.
So
have
what
a
we
score.
did was we chose to all enjoy a punishment in ye old video games, and so we played Rocket League, only shooting backwards.
Yes.
Yeah, we got some video footage showing up down there of us trying and failing a lot of the time.
Yeah,
it was interesting.
It was so. I mean, this is cool because not one person gets to talk about it. We all did it together.
We
I
didn't
thought it was
fail
fun as hell.
as much as I thought we would. We won a lot of those games. Actually,
yeah, we did really well.
Our first night was way better than our second night.
Yeah,
right? we jumped in our first night. It was right after the show. We fired up some recording software, got into it, and we were killing it. Like we won our first 1 or 2 games. Then we lost a couple. Then we went on to win like 2 or 3 more games, and I thought it was like, holy shit, this is going to be fine. And then we came back then like a couple days later and just like lost miserably a couple of games in a row, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was but then I think we came back one more time though, and didn't we get a couple more runs in, and we did pretty well again?
Yeah, I think at first we started doing bad, but then we started getting back in the groove.
Yeah,
that was good.
What I loved, honestly, was the replay aspect of it, because there would be times where we would drive up to the goal, we'd realize it would be set, and we would stop facing forward and just reverse and do this 3-point turn and hit a goal in, and that mind fuck for the opponent, going like, wait, what
are they doing?
What did we just do? What did they just do? Why did they do that? Like, that had to fuck with some
They probably
heads.
thought that we were intentionally messing with them, like, hey, look at this, we're gonna go backwards, like, showing off.
Yeah.
I mean, we were intentionally messing with them, to be fair.
No, we were messing with ourselves. Wait a second.
That's true.
Ooh.
I'll mess with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some like amazing like games of Rocket League. And then what I realized, I was telling you about this, Dakota, is I tried to play, and when I play by myself, I like to play 1v1s. And then I realized, like, about a minute into this game, as I was like, oh shit, I have to shoot these backwards.
Yeah.
And then after that game was over and I lost horribly, I stopped playing 1v1s for the week.
It's impossible, like, because to make the backwards hits work, you really have to have good teamwork. You have to have somebody setting the ball up for you really, really slowly or really, really high and floaty in order for you to have any hope in making the shot.
Yeah.
Which is cool, right? Because it definitely emphasized teamwork, and it's always nice when you like learn new things based on these video game handicaps that we dole out to one another. And this was definitely no exception. I'm sure that we will find value in upping our backflip game, like as we go forward playing regular Rocket League.
Oh, I've actually already noticed that it helps. Like, backflipping is a good way to just go backwards really quickly. You can't boost going backwards, which I learned also very quickly. But I can use the backflip to my advantage, and like if I'm in a situation where I want to turn around, I may just be able to backflip, and that way I'm facing forward as soon as I get there. So I've already it's already benefited me in some way, which, thanks, Metabet.
Yeah,
thanks,
and I got to say that first night was some of the most fun I've ever had in Rocket League.
Oh, by far.
Oh yeah,
saying a lot because I have a lot of fun in
Yeah.
Rocket League generally.
That was an incredible night, and we actually have a YouTube video. Dakota was very nice and put together this whole video compilation of all our like triumphs, all of our attempts.
He is
just a lot of the funny moments of that night. It's about 6 minutes long. We're playing it now in the stream, but I'll definitely post a link in the show notes for you guys listening. You definitely want to take a look at this. It's really, really funny.
Yep. So last week we bet on a new game. For those that don't know, the Metabet is where we bet on the Metacritic score of a video game that's going to come out the night of recording. Last week we bet on Hatoful Boyfriend Holiday Star for the PlayStation 4.
Oh god, that's what I forgot. This fucking like by the hair Metabet score.
That's right. For those that don't know, Hatoful Boyfriend Holiday Star is some weird game where you date pigeons. That's about as much as I know about it. To recap,
I know
our scores,
you do, Chris.
Yeah.
To recap our scores, Chris was at the bottom with 77. Dakota was in the middle, 78, and Mitch on top with 79. I don't think we've ever been as close as we were last week, or have we, with our scores?
Or with our hearts.
Or with our hearts, that's right. The actual score tonight, based on 9 critic reviews so far on Metacritic, is 52, making Chris the winner and Mitch the loser.
God. It did, there was no, parity value here. God.
Yeah.
Why did I go so high with I thought 79 was low. I thought I was going low.
Yeah. These are, some of the lowest scores that we've even estimated, aren't they? The problem is, we assume that these video game scores are going to, as we discussed, tend towards 82-ish. And finally, we see a score for a game that maybe actually reflects what that freaking game is, just fine. Or this game is terrible and it needed to get a 2 out of 5 or a 1 out of 5. Who knows? In the meantime,
all right,
Mitch, Chris, what are you going to be playing this week?
Well, now I don't think I'm going to be playing Uncharted anymore. I'm going to be playing Uncharted 2. I'm going to try to beat that game. I'm going to be playing a lot more Rocket League now that I can shoot goals forward. Please don't touch it. And what else have I been playing? I play a lot of Hearthstone all the time. League of Legends I play all the time. That's up to you, man.
I'm thinking, how about I limit you this week to...
Limit me?
Yeah, I'm going to limit you because this week is Christmas, right? And so
right.
Not a lot of people are going to be playing games. So you can only play single-player games this week, with the exception of the customary after-show Rocket League match.
No. I'm vetoing that. More than anybody know that I don't like single player games.
That's hard.
I only like playing games with my friends.
I know.
I don't want to do that.
You can only play a multiplayer game with us.
How about he has to go finish Uncharted 1 and report back and tell us how lovely it was? And if you really want to get fancy, make him enable, if it's an option, the you must use the motion controls to throw grenades. Because that was
that is not an option.
Fucking shit.
If it is, I'm going to turn it off immediately. It's not an option.
I was planning on making him play one of his single-player games on the PC, but I didn't want to interrupt his other one. So
what about no runes in League of Legends? No rune sheets.
No. No, that's just not. Then I'm just not playing League of Legends at that point. Like,
what?
You can't make all these rules.
Stat game
you have
get from a rune page. It's like got to be 2% difference between an empty rune page and a full rune page.
It's like a big deal. Like, it's a big deal.
Okay, so
like it's part of the.
I think it's not as big a deal. It's not a big deal, and that's a problem with the game. But it's not your fault, Mitch. You've been duped by League of Legends' horseshit game. However, what you could do instead is you could play. You could like take a mage top, or you could play an AP hero, but by
I touch his League of Legends. He's got to play through Uncharted 1.
All right.
2? No, 2.
No, 1.
Nope, 1.
Wait, no, I'm playing 2.
Play through
you're
1
also playing
first.
1.
No, I'm not playing 1.
Yeah, I know, but you're going
You're
to.
about halfway through each of them, probably.
No, I was like 2 hours into the first one.
Beat it. That's it. I mean, what do you want me to say? You lost. Don't lose.
You're allowed to play multiplayer games, but you have to beat Uncharted 1. So
yeah.
you may as well just
now
knock
I'm
it
not
out
allowed to play
quick.
multiplayer games. Now I have to play Uncharted 1.
It's not a long game.
Yeah, it's
just
not
put
that
like
long.
4 hours into it every day.
You have to beat
That's fine. I'm just going to come back and say that I watched the playthrough like Dakota did for
No,
his
then
game.
you'll get a double, triple beating.
Oh, shit. Chris's regular beatings are already bad, so a double triple one.
It's going to involve Nanner back there.
3 times as bad.
Yep.
All right,
So we normally, right now, we would be betting on the game that's going to come out a week from today. However, there are no games coming out between now and Christmas, hardly industry-wide, at least any games that would have enough Metacritic scores for us to play. So what we're probably going to do next week is have the listeners assign us another group handicap. So if you'd like to, join us again next week in Twitch chat. That way you can be a part of assigning us some craptastic handicap like all backflip hits in Rocket League.
Yeah,
although that was... Hats off to Sup Meow, because that was the best thing I have ever done.
Yeah, it was a lot
That was so much fun, so mad props to Sup Meow, one of our listeners in the chat. A+ Metabet. That's exactly what we want. All right, guys. Well, we talked about some of our favorite winter levels. We had I had a bit of a good time. If you've never been to BitCultures before, by the way, definitely check it out. BitCultures.com. We have articles, we have videos, we have podcasts, we have giveaways, we have tournaments, we have everything. You name it, we've got it. So just make sure you stop by and check it out. If you want to reach out to us, all of our information is in the stream overlay. You can see it right here. But we will also put it in the show notes as well for those listening and not watching the stream. If you want to send us any funny shit, any weird shit, any epic shit, any ironic shit, do it. We'll watch your shit. We'll definitely
not regular
watch your shit.
Don't send us regular shit.
We don't want your actual shit. Do not send us actual shit. But anything else with an adjective that is not actual shit, definitely send it on over to us. We will take a look at it, and if it's good enough, we'll mention it on the show. We'll show everybody else, how stupid or shitty it is. So definitely do that. If you have any questions for us, jump in that Twitch chat. We'd be more than happy to chat with you. Make sure that you come by next week. Give us a shitty Metabet challenge. Other than that, we record every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you come and check it out.
What about
Other than
Central?
That, any parting words? Central is, I don't know. They're useless.
What about our Hawaiian brethren?
Hawaii is like 7 hours back.
6.
So
5.
6? Okay.
5 because they don't do time.
Daylight savings.
Daylight savings time.
Okay. So then...
See, we're also filling you with knowledge here on Analog Stick Radio.
Yeah.
Filling
Fun
you
facts
to the
from
brim
Analog Stick Radio.
with knowledge.
Yeah. Filling you as far as you can go. So, other than that, if you guys don't have any closing statements, then we have been Analog Stick Radio. I've been Mitch. I've been joined by Chris and Dakota. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you guys next week.
See ya.
So long.